3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Andy, Carl, Mus, George, and 100,000 up and about Carlton supporters. We are the Monday Blues, coming off the back of a epic win against the Melbourne Demons. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? Andy?
Very, very, very good, bro. Very, very good. Still elated, bro. I can't believe. Anyway.
What a feeling. What a feeling.
Next.
George.
Getting my voice back just now, and I think that last 10 minutes of the game made me lose whatever hair I had left. So stress, but amazing feeling. So elation, you name it, mate. It was unbelievable. Carl.
Mus.
Win, as J Rock, the song goes. It's all we know how to do. So bring on the next one.
And Carl, what about you?
Oh, standard dinner. Too good, man. Pumped.
You're just used to this feeling now.
Still got goosebumps, man. It was great, man. It was great.
The Carlton Blues went up against the Melbourne Demons in round 22 on Saturday, the 12th of August at 7:30 p.m. Game was a little late as well, thanks to the Matildas game, and we'll get into that in a second. But the Baggers got up 9-6-60 against the Melbourne Demons 8-8-56 in what was, as all of the pundits have called it, and as all of the media have said, a finals footy game for a finals-bound team, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. The atmosphere at the game it was probably, 65,000 Carlton supporters versus the 3,500 Melbourne supporters that made their way down from their chateaus, George, and their privately owned villas.
Yep, or the ones who left Mount Buller to come have a gander.
There wasn't many of them, I'll tell you what. There definitely wasn't many of them. And even from before the game, there was, 35, 40, 50,000 people crammed in there in the bars all around the MCG on each and every level watching the Matildas game, which was pretty cool, It's not something that you would ever see at the MCG just before a footy game. And you know what? Speaking about before the footy, Carl, you mentioned that you wanted to bring something up. I'll pass it over to you.
I do. I want to address something. Look, I don't want to really start on a negative note, but pre-game, as the players come out, for the home game, they introduce the players. 1, Jack Silvani, 2, Daux, and so on. And, hear the crowd go on. But in particular, you hear the crowd go nuts when they call out Charlie Curnow and Paddy Cripps. I mean, you got another 21 blokes on that team, yeah, that are bloody breaking their backs for us. I just feel like we need to give them a little bit more appreciation. Like, it's like no one, they call out the name and just everyone's on their phones or talking. Then all of a sudden you hear Cripps and Curnow and the crowd goes ballistic. I just feel like, they deserve that from us. Give them a bit more spirit. But yeah, I was telling them all yesterday at the game. Yeah, I was telling them all at the game. Like Newman's name's called out like nothing. So this bloke, was he playing for the opposition team?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Cool.
Not gonna lie, Carl. That one hurt me a little bit, burned me a bit. Cripps and Curnow absolutely 100% deserve the applaud and the cheers that they get. But
definitely,
the likes of Nick Newman, who has broken his back for this football club, he's probably an all-Australian smoky at this point, with the way that he's played in our backline, and he got nothing.
To be fair, though, I think most clubs do that. They cheer for their main 1 or 2 people.
Oh, yeah, they do. But I'm just saying, we got to be better than those clubs.
Get around them.
Absolutely.
Get around them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Good call.
So did he win, or
We still won.
far out? Yes. Brutal way to start.
No, it's important to call something out like that because it's and again, we'll talk about this in the latter stages of this podcast. But it's definitely a full team effort, a 4-quarter effort from a full team, and not just a select few anymore. Which is definitely the direction that the Carlton Footy Club is heading into. But good call, Carl. Let's get on with the start of the game. What was your thoughts before the game? Were we going into this game confident? Were we going into this game with a bit of nerves? Were we a bit edgy? How did we feel? Mus, I'll start with you.
Yeah, look, I think there was a bit of nerves. This out of the last few, this one was probably the one where I was a bit not so confident. But I thought as long as it was a wet game, we're in with a chance. The only sort of consideration I had was the class in the midfield, and missing a few players, as we know we have. That was probably my biggest concern. The defense has been fantastic. The offense and the move and the switch, I knew was sort of, with a system that we've currently got, we backed that. It was just, was their midfield going to get over the top? That's all.
Yeah, their midfield was pretty good. Andy, how did you feel? Now, you obviously weren't at the game yesterday.
Yeah, I couldn't make the game. I was feeling a bit under the weather, but yeah, I was so confident, and I've been confident for weeks now.
You have.
I'm confident next week, confident the week after. Week by week, though. I'm not looking too far ahead. Trying not to. It's getting harder now. But, man, our system works. And it was never in doubt for me, honestly, until the game started. We got we got deep into that last quarter. I thought, oh, shit, not again. But before the game, mate, I was so confident.
Yeah. Georgie.
Yeah, I think we were chatting in the car on the way there, and I felt like the weather might suit us a little bit. I did say in the preview that it's going to be a sort of I predicted it was going to be low scoring, a bit of a scrappy contest, and I felt like that's where we could probably get the better of them, and especially with May and Lever and things like that as well. So I said it was going to be a bit of a scrap, but we'd get up, and if you listen to me, then I said it was 4 points. Hopefully. Anyone who might have had a bit of a punt on that got up, but yeah, correctly predicted the margin, which was nice. But I felt confident. I knew it was going to be a tight contest. Like it was, Melbourne is Melbourne, right? The informed team of the competition along with us. So clash of the heavyweights. But all in all, what a great night of Australian sport. Like just going into that game, right? So for me. If you're a foreigner, if you're someone coming in and you happen to be lucky to attend that game, one of the 68,000 people, how awesome would that have felt, right? Like you're coming in and you're seeing Matildas, the crowd go ballistic, and then you're just treated to an awesome game. But yeah, I felt in the air, Carlton fans, bit of swagger, a bit of confidence going into the game. So it was nice to see that. So naturally, there's always going to be a bit of nerves, but it was nice to be like, you know what, we're going into every game knowing we can win if we just continue doing what we're doing. So it's great.
Yeah. Carl.
Look, I was confident-ish. I was more probably 50-50-ish. Look, the weather actually, for me, I thought it wasn't going to suit us, to be honest. As we know, Melbourne's got stars on every line of their team. I didn't think we're going to... we've got a lot of players that haven't played much for us, especially in the last few weeks. They've come in and did a solid job for us. I didn't think we were going to do it, but they proved me wrong, man. They stuck to their guns, and yeah, man, they held on. Credit to them.
The first quarter was so incredibly hotly contested. Definitely different the game, Andy. I don't know if you had any different views watching it on the big screen, but it was. We haven't seen that kind of pressure from other teams that we've played in the past, where we're trying to move the ball, and not only when we were trying to move the ball, but when Melbourne was trying to move the ball as well. The intensity and the pressure and around the ball was like nothing I've seen all season from any match. It was very hard for both teams to move the ball. A lot of short handballs, not many opportunities for any sort of kicks or anything like that. Did you guys feel the same, or see the same at least?
Watching at home, so I was watching the first quarter on my phone because I was watching the Matildas on the TV, and So my eyes were. I actually had to watch the first quarter again during the replay in full because it was just like the Matildas was so enthralling. But watching it back, we dominated. Right? But their defense held up so well. Like their defensive pressure and pressure all over, like was great. Now it was literally like two heavyweights, like you said, just going at it. These are two informed teams playing. We killed them in inside 50s, and it felt like, oh, shit, this feels like the Sydney game all over again. We're just not capitalizing on our inside.
Yeah.
I think we were plus 22 inside 50s or something.
30,
Quarter time.
30 something we got to.
Yeah, but
No, first quarter.
Up. Yeah, we were up by
It was
22
24-4. 24-4 inside 50s.
Quarter time.
And at that point, we were 1-3. So you're right, Andy. We shot ourselves in the foot with a couple of opportunities, but their defensive pressure was huge.
However, it was a pressure all over the ground. I don't think it was just the defence. I think the kicks coming in weren't great either because of the pressure in the midfield.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like their pressure was through the roof, and so was ours. We were matching them, if not doing better than them.
And a huge credit to us. We kept them scoreless till the final minute.
Always do it.
Yeah,
like literally the final minute was when they got their goal. So we almost shut out Melbourne for an entire quarter scoreless, not just goalless, actually scoreless. So that needs commending.
We love conceding in time.
I was going to say Carl needs commending there because he grabbed my leg and he said, "Oh no, here we go. Watch it happen." And funnily enough, it did.
Can I just say, just speaking of watch it happen, I'm glad that Akers got it out of his system in the first 2 minutes. The out of bounds on the full.
I died laughing. I was like, 100%. The boys are celebrating. 100%. There's a few high fives going around.
We were all clapping. We were like, you know what? He got it out of his system in the first 2 minutes. He gets here on the full. That's fine. That's all right. Get it out there rather than clutch.
It looked like he did it on purpose. It was like, I've got to just do this now.
Yeah.
Now.
Even the crowd sitting around us started laughing when we yelled that out as well.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. You're right, Andy. I feel from my view, I felt we were a bit one-dimensional coming into our forward line. We were again just aiming for our tools, and the only tool that we had in the forward line at the time in Charlie Curnow. And again, he was matched up against Stephen May. I think he's a brilliant defender, really strong
matchup, by the way.
Yeah.
That was watching at home. That was two great players having a great contest the whole game.
Absolutely, it was actually so good to watch. But more times than not, especially in the first quarter, he was being double teamed or triple teamed, and it was just like, man, we've done it over and over again. So many of those 24 entries into our forward 50 were just going straight to Charlie, and Melbourne knew it. Geez, they kind of got lucky. I mean, if we worked that out a little quicker, it wouldn't have been a goal apiece going into the first to the end of the first quarter. It would have been a couple of goals in our favor because you're right, Andy. We absolutely dominated.
Mm-hmm. Dominating everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Biggest call out for those ones, Andy, as you said, the inside 50s were for me, and it really stood out, was our smalls were not in the right position.
Nope.
The ball was going to be, I know it was still early on, the ball was heavy, it's a wet game, you could see it, but the smalls were not front and centre. They were sort of hanging out the back. And
they were.
So that was a big one that I sort of spotted, and I think everyone else sort of looked at it and goes, "Where's the smalls?" So
but they fixed that up after. After that,
definitely come good.
Yeah.
How good was our midfield work throughout the game? Like Cripps and Dow.
Dow was huge.
Dow
was huge
for a little guy. Like, he's not big. He puts his body on the line at every single contest. Like, for someone his size to be able to get the hard balls that he gets, like, he's no Darcy Parish, mate. Darcy Parish he loves the outside, get a cheeky handball at the back. Nah, bro.
He's not scared to get hit
over the ball. Nah,
he's not scared.
It almost G's him up.
Yeah.
And again, he just built throughout the game, and it's gonna suck when he leaves. You know what I mean? It's gonna suck.
I'll put it down. This was when I was like, oh shit, this guy's. It kind of dawned on me that Dow he will be leaving because he's not going to get the game time that Dow deserves. But when he delivered that ball into Curnow for our first goal, man, I'm like, man, what a kick!
Yeah,
what a kick!
yeah,
Yeah, he definitely deserves to be in the AFL. Let's got to get that straight.
Yeah,
he has to play.
I feel selfish. I feel selfish for wanting him to stay now. Like he's. I'm actually glad for him though. I'm really happy. Like he could have just
given up,
hung the boots up for the year and been like, yeah, well, I'm not going to get in the game, so bugger it, But man, the guy, and you can tell, like, and even the commentators, Channel 7 media guys, were going up to him after the game last week, this week, and having a chat with him. So huge effort, man. That needs to be commended, and even Cripps is mentioning that. And I will credit another guy, like Andy, you said, for someone whose size is a small frame, who goes absolutely hard. Hollands, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, a bit as well. But the fact that these guys, for their size, just go in hard at the contest against premiership favourites along with Collingwood as well is just beautiful to see. This is a team now that's got guts, that's got heart, that's wants it. So
everything we said they were lacking 10 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Everything we said that this club is lacking. That like the turnaround has been black and white. It's just, bro, it's been incredible to see the growth. But the nastiness, we're still playing with nastiness. The same nastiness we took to Freo, we're still playing with that. And I love Voss after the game. He said, "Job's not done."
Yeah,
that's
still
what I
work to
want to
do,
fucking hear from the coach, bro. You know what I mean?
Coaching,
ruthlessness.
Oh, but that's
I
what
love
he was
coaching.
like. It sounded like he was lacking that even earlier when we were. Well, he would have been having in a rut as well when we were in a rut. It would have been a collective. So, I think he's found. I think he's found that respect within himself and the players.
Yeah,
because I can't think it was quarter time, 3/4 time, whatever it was. The way the players were looking at him, mate.
Yeah,
they were playing for him.
Yeah,
they were playing for each other, for that jumper, and that's all we wanted. That's all we wanted. So another great coaching performance by Voss, I think.
Maybe we should have started recording earlier, and they would have watched us earlier.
Wouldn't it be great to be a fly on the wall in some of those conversations? Because there's a couple of things that have come out since, right? Thank you to Ed Curnow for hosting the players at a camp at his house or whatnot. Going for Ed. Well, and a lot of them have mentioned, a couple of bits and pieces from that camp about how they all challenged each other, around the bonfire or whatnot, and they basically put the question to each other, the leadership, what they're going to give to the team, whatnot. But then you also hear of players being challenged, and then players challenging back the coaches and Voss as well. So I think everyone, and to do that mid-season when there's questions asked externally as well. So internally to do that with each other, rather than just we would have previously just crumbled and fallen apart, right? So, people, a lot of people are commenting and saying, you guys are, hanging crap on your team and whatnot 9 weeks ago. Hey, man, rightly so. The team were hanging crap on each other internally as well, right? And they challenge each other, and look at the output basically now, right? So something needed to be said, something needed to change, some hard conversations needed to be had, and they were had, it seems. So. I'm glad that. Well, it's been the most insane turnaround mid-season. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
We don't hang shit on the club because we hate them. We hang shit on the club because we love them and we're frustrated.
Yeah,
these guys just think we do it because we're bored.
Exactly. Bro, we invest so much time, so much money, so much of our literal mental health into this football club.
Bad.
You know what I mean? So, we're not losing it because we hate these blokes. We're losing it because we love the jumper.
And we know what they're capable of. That's
exactly.
And it's amazing to see that what they're delivering as well. So
it's coming to fruition. Yeah, I'm going to pose a question to you guys because we've seen the likes of Paddy Dow, who up to a year ago was the worst player on the planet. Fisher wasn't able to string together a good game, and our smalls were the worst in the league and everything like that. Where has the improvement come from for these fringe players?
I
Forward line.
reckon with
Oh,
with
okay,
with
where's
that,
the
but
improvement
with
come
Paddy
from?
Dale, you're saying?
With everyone. So we know our top end talent. We know what they're able to
Yeah.
bring, right?
Mm.
But we have always said for so long that it's our bottom 6 or our bottom 12
Yeah.
that has continuously dragged us down. But all of a sudden, since the second quarter of the Gold Coast game, we've changed it up. Where has that come from?
I reckon it's obviously coaches, and I think a big factor is persisting with them. Whereas in the past, we would bring him in for a game or two, and then see you, bro.
And consistency and role clarity, I think, is a big one, right? So
Role clarity. I was
it's
thinking
huge.
something along that line.
I look at someone like Fisher, forward pocket, half forward flank, middle, wing. Bloke's played everywhere, and he might, and as Carl said, he might come in for a week, out for 2, in for 4 weeks, out for 3, 2 or 3. So role clarity, I think everyone, when they're challenged, like this is what we need from you in the team, and then you've got role players now coming in. So we half our team, right? So when you're thinking about okay, these are it's going to be ugly conditions, whatnot. Half the team play VFL, right? Your Chincotas, Fisher, pretty much, your Dow. Camp, these guys are used to playing in shitty conditions, right, and horrible grounds and wet and stuff like that as well. So if you look at what's coming through and the depth and the role players, like what Chincotta's doing, what Camp's doing, these guys are coming in and getting a job done, right? So role clarity, I think, has been, from what I've seen this year, has been huge as well. So just setting and then the hunger and setting the expectation, right? So massive.
That role clarity ties into the system. That's exactly what the system is, because it outlines what we're here to do, and then the role clarity ties into that. But bit more on that. You touched on Ed Kerno and the little sort of camp that he had going on, but if you look at the players that have done a number and turned around, Nick Newman, one of the older players, a leader. Has he become that leader in the back line? Yep, absolutely. Ticks a leadership box. So Jack Martin, another one on the forward line, leadership box gets ticked again. Yeah. So I think a couple of the boys with that leadership and that age and the life experience and football experience have been posed a question per se, and have said, well, time to pull a finger out, and everyone else has sort of been dragged along for the journey. So
that's something we've lacked for a long time as well, leadership.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a few, maybe I feel like there's been some directives either from the coaching group or Voss or whatnot, in certain games and the way we're playing. Like I feel like just watching I just had to watch a KO many of the Collingwood game again just throughout the week. It was really nice, right? But I noticed 2 or 3 times the jumper after every goal. So Voss might have said, hey, after every goal, you friggin' pull out that jumper and you show them that insignia. So I feel like there's a few directives hanging around, like, when you hit hard. Notice how, thank God, over the last couple of months, there's none of these crap one-arm tackles that we just used to just forever do, right? Now, when we hit hard. The tackling stats from this game were insane. And going back to that first 10 minutes of the game, I know we're still in the first quarter, we'll move to the second soon. But that first quarter, the first 10 minutes, there was no score because it was just an absolute brew fest, right?
Intense. Yeah. Absolutely intense. And just to give you guys an idea for the tackles, and this is for the game, 87 tackles for Carlton, 88 tackles for Melbourne. Now, I think in the commentary last night, they mentioned that usually tackles are around the 120, 130 mark for both teams. This was well above that. Both teams operated at a pressure rating of over 200 for the whole game.
That's mental.
That's elite.
Remember when you had 32 against Essendon? I was like,
far out. Just saying that gives me chills, man. It's crazy. The turnaround is absolutely crazy. Anyway, end of first quarter. We have come into the quarter time break at leading by 3 points, 1 goal, 3-9 to 1 goal, zip 6, and the crowd erupts. Absolutely loses it. It is. I was talking to my wife on the way to the car after the game last night, saying that this was, and I'm sorry, Andy, I'm not trying to rub anything into your face here because I know you missed it, but that was a spectacle, I think, that won't be seen in the MCG probably ever again. To see, in a quarter time break, a stadium full of supporters from both teams erupting for the Matildas in the FIFA Women's World Cup to get up in the penalty kick out, I think definitely deserves a shout out. The ground, level 2, was shaking. It was genuinely shaking. And that and you sort of look around and it's Carlton supporters and it's Melbourne supporters and everyone is just losing it for the Matildas. That's a spectacle that I think will never ever be seen again in our lifetime.
It was wild in my lounge room.
I felt like
My lounge room went off.
It was
It felt
huge.
like an earthquake. I swear, the way the floor was shaking. I swear, it felt unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, when we scored that pen to go in to make the semi, I think I had a couple mates over. We screamed that hard that my cat fucking went flying. My cat shit herself. She's gone. It was so good, man. It was so good. And you know what I love about this? I love that women are supporting this. Women that I know that aren't into sport whatsoever. They're getting around the girls. They're getting into the sport. That's great for the sport. And that's, we all want to see equality in sport. We all want to see the women, especially in the soccer. We really want to get behind them because they're a great national team. So it's good to see the women get around them.
Exactly.
There was a beautiful photo of, I think, the crowd in 2010 versus the crowd last week when they versed Denmark. And
I saw that. Yeah,
I can't remember where I saw what page it was, but amazing to see that the turnaround. 76,000 last week versus a couple hundred in a crowd, 12, 13 years ago. So that's huge, man.
Yeah, big turnaround.
Maybe now the women will understand why we get so passionate about this stuff.
Did you see the video that was circulating, Amal? Carl's that the one, Blake Acres?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Flick through. That was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, that was good.
Because we were sort of sitting there going, do these guys know the soccer's on? And even Acres in the video sort of said, people were sort of cheering and we didn't know what was happening and we knew it was for the soccer, but then sort of a quarter time it was sort of done and dusted and then, we're here to play footy. So
now, guys, he looked at the screen and he's saying cheese. He goes, what are we celebrating? Cheese?
That was interesting. The players obviously noticed it as well, so fantastic.
Yeah. I must admit, going into the end of the first quarter, I was a bit nervous because I felt like we let go of a lot of opportunities to really cement, I guess, the effort that we put in the first quarter onto the scoreboard. And going in 1-3 was the end result. Coming into the start of the second quarter, Melbourne kicked the first 2 goals and started to get in the lead. And I started to get nervous. I got nervous.
I think we all did.
There's never in doubt, boys. Never in doubt.
It was a beautiful moment though in the second, I must say. It was just beautiful watching it because it was came to our end where we were sitting, was the Hollands kick inside 50 to Martin was just beautiful, right? That play, he got it. You looked and you thought, geez, is he going to blaze away and just go to Charlie? And we were saying, you got to lower your eyes. You got to get the, Martin and Owies and a few others involved in Cunningham and whatnot. And he just sort of, put it a little bit left of his body and it just hit Martin perfectly. Martin, I think he did. Yeah, he did.
He did.
That was a beautiful play. And
it was a crucial moment as well because that's when they were starting they kicked those couple of goals. Yeah.
Yep.
That was good.
It was really a game of momentum. So each team kind of had 10, 15 minutes in the quarter of really strong wave of momentum. And it was just about, honestly, whose nose was going to be ahead at the end of the game. Because it was like that throughout the whole game. Like we looked unstoppable for 10. They grinded their way back into the momentum. And then they looked unstoppable for, it looked like a matter of time before they break the game open. So it was a really even contest.
It was a great game of footy.
Yeah.
Great game.
Was there anything else to talk about in the second quarter? I don't think there was really.
That second quarter felt like it went really quick. For me, anyway, it went really quick.
Yeah, we went into the halftime. 3 goals, 5. Carlton 23. to 3 goals, 3-21. Again, momentum was well and truly with Melbourne in the first half of that second quarter before we started to wrestle it back with a few goals of our own in Jack Martin and Blake Acres, who actually took a spectacular mark. It was a pack mark, it was a contested mark, something that TDK, I felt, really wasn't able to do. Mus, you were very vocal about.
Mate, I was following him around the whole game. I was just watching TDK. I don't know what it is. He's just
Brick hands.
Yeah, well, the guy behind us was calling him brick hands, and someone else was saying something else. So it wasn't just us. Confidence, I don't know. I'm just going to put it down to confidence. Game time, confidence.
I thought he had a great game.
He had a great game.
The marking,
Just the marking.
The marking was a big letdown.
Really let him down.
Someone needs to give him a mirror and show him that he's tall and he needs to take a mark.
I think
drop some sitters.
Bro, he's getting himself in the right position. They're literally hitting his hands.
Yeah.
He's just dropping them. I don't know what it is.
Because
he was clunking them in his early days. They were
confidence. I don't know. Maybe it is.
He competed amazingly, but just the end product, right? But we'll get to the fourth and stuff where he had a massive one. But man, he competed. But I think it was the guy behind us that kept yelling out "bricks for hands," and then every time he dropped one, he just bricks.
Tom Brick Hands DeConning.
He dropped a few, man.
Big letdown. But around the ground he battled. We got smashed in tap outs, absolutely, and we sort of expected that. But that stat is so relevant for our side at the moment. Very relevant. I think 3-1 they got us in the hit outs, but meant nothing. So anyway,
I love that when TDK was playing on Grundy, he looked a lot more comfortable playing on Grundy than Gawn. Whenever he was matching up for boundary throw-ins, he really, really looked a lot more comfortable throwing Grundy around. And Grundy, Grundy struggled against TDK. He might have got the taps, but physically...
Fitness. He was labouring. He was labouring.
Grundy's struggling. I feel like he's struggling at the moment.
Yeah.
And we knew that, going into the game. So I told you, they were scared. They were scared. That's why they brought Oliver in. That's why they brought... Bro, Oliver's a 35 possession a game player. What do you get, 22, 23? Maybe 24?
Yeah, he had a big game. 14 tackles.
But I look at Oliver and with his disposals, I don't think he was damaging.
His first quarter was quite after that. He dominated.
Yeah, he seemed rusty at the start.
I don't know. The whole game, I didn't think he was hurting us.
I think he wasn't given the opportunity. He wasn't given the opportunity. The pressure. It was just a pressure cooker. So when he got it, there was so many all over him. So
So he got the ball. He did whatever. But I don't think he damaged us. I don't think he actually hurt us. In this game, which was a testament to our pressure, like you said, was, and our positioning. So it was really good to see Melbourne buckle a bit going into the game. They were scared. I don't care what anyone says. For them to bring back those two players, especially Grundy, underdone. Oliver hasn't played in weeks because of injury. So, I don't know, bro. I just thought this was them hitting the red button and
panic button.
Yep, and we did them. So
speaking of buttons. It's 8 on the trot, Liv.
8 on the trot.
That's gold.
Quality.
We gave him an Amazon password.
Now, the third quarter, and to Andy's point, it was a quarter of momentum, 100%. There was a rush behind 58 seconds into the quarter before a couple of minutes after that, Cripps laid a tackle on Petrarca in our forward 50, which caused him to throw the ball up, leading in a Cripps free kick and a goal. A couple of minutes after that, Matty Owies with a goal. which
How good was that pass by Charlie?
Unreal field kicking.
he's the best in the league at that penetrating low pass.
Made it
He
look
doesn't
easy
miss.
too.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah,
You
made
know,
it look easy.
even when he really grabs the kick, it comes off. 9 times out of 10, it comes off.
It dribbles.
Yeah,
It dribbles
it
all the way.
literally- Yeah, man. He's so good at that quick turn and just bang.
Release.
Yeah,
Oh, that was, mate.
it's a testament to the amount of power that he puts into that ball.
Mhm.
It's not easy getting that type of ball flight at that speed, at that trajectory.
Mhm.
Not
the
many
ball's
people
wet.
in the league. Yeah, not
And
many
the ball's
people in
wet.
the league can do that.
Mhm.
So we definitely have a diamond in Charlie Kerner. There's absolutely no doubt about that, because
Yep.
if that ball was in anyone else's hands, always wasn't kicking that goal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, probably right.
Mm.
I might get a goat, name it Charlie. What do you reckon?
Carlton already has
Why
one.
not? I want my own.
The Doc goal right after was pretty special as well. That was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was massive.
Milestone.
little
Yeah.
It was a snap, not too far off from goal. Quick one too. And then Melbourne were able to sort of wrestle back that momentum with a few goals of their own in between the Owies and the Doherty goal. Sparrow was able to put one through before. Was it Petrarca that nailed one?
Yeah, I think it
It
was.
was on the
Yeah,
boundary,
Trucker
wasn't
kicked
it?
one.
Oh no, he didn't. It was right on the goal line. He just kicked it through.
Dribble. Yeah.
Yep. And then it was bloody Neil
Oh, that
Bullen
was
that kicked
annoying,
it
that goal.
from the boundary, man. Oh,
That was a good one.
they
But
kicked a
to
few
our-
like that.
To our credit, it's hard for teams to have to wrestle momentum back and then sustain it, because we always found a way to kick off. You know what I mean? We'd start the quarter really good, and then teams would have to really dig deep to fight back. And we forced Melbourne. We were tiring them out. So that's a big credit to our system, because, all right, sweet, you want momentum. You're not going to get it just like that.
Yeah.
You got to wrestle it back. And to our credit, we really wore them out and were able to hit back. So, and that was the trend of the whole game, really.
Yeah.
And that goes to the point of what a lot of people have been saying over the last few weeks is the stinginess of our team and the stinginess of our defence. As it stands right now, we have conceded the least points in the AFL.
That's
For the whole year.
massive.
Yeah,
All season.
If you look at the ladder and you look at points against, we have conceded the least points. Officially, we were I think three goals behind Collingwood last week, and now by holding Melbourne under 10 goals, that's insane. I don't think I ever recall us ever being in that position. It's huge.
I think we lost Georgie.
Yeah.
Georgie.
Oh,
Georgie's
I
back.
gone.
don't know.
GG.
Am I back?
Well, no, to George's point, yeah,
Having a
it has
grand old
been.
chat to himself.
He's back.
We
he's
lost you
back.
there, Georgie.
Okay.
Am I back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're
are.
back.
Yeah, actually froze there. Sorry, boys. Yeah, I was just saying the stinginess of the defence and to concede the least amount of points. Like I don't ever recall that ever happening. So huge testament to, and that's where we said, earlier in this chat, we said, where does it start? And it starts from defence, and that system up. Everyone does their defensive work, and you look at. I think they were on the board in the first quarter. I saw something that says tackles inside 50. It was like 11-1. So the defensive work we're doing in the forward half as well was enormous.
Yeah. And when they did have an opportunity at goal, aside from that Petrarca one that they dribbled in, a lot of them were from angles or out from distance. There was nothing easy that came for them. So it's a credit. It's an absolute credit to our defense. Now, coming up to the end of the third quarter, it's 6-6 Melbourne, 42 to 6-6 Carlton, 42, dead even. It's a new game in the last quarter. Restart. And what did Carlton do?
Thank God for that three quarter time siren, though. They were coming.
Yeah,
They were pressing
scary.
hard.
They
So
were.
we needed that siren. Yeah, we needed that siren to come the fourth. Bang, open goal. Always. And the crowd erupted. That was
Crips and Dow.
huge.
Crips and Dow.
Yeah,
And
Crips
and
and Dow.
Hollands.
2 in a row.
Hollands,
Yes.
Hollands was
And
massive in that one. Hollands
They
was
had
massive.
through.
Cultural
That's
too.
right.
Cultural too.
Yep.
So-
There's a few plays there. The link up was
So
great.
I've written, I got 4 moments for me, or 4 things that happened that really stood out to me in the fourth. Cripps and Dow with Fogarty in the midfield in those first like five or so minutes to
We'll
get
set
those
that
3
again.
goals.
yeah, Fogarty. I said I
Yeah.
love those three in the
Yeah.
midfield together.
But Dow again stood up. You know what I mean? Stood up. Hollands, his 2 efforts. I think it was a couple of tackles or just putting his head over the ball. He had 2 really huge efforts to get the handball out, and I think he gave it to Owis for that goal. Massive.
He did.
Massive. And deep in the fourth, Chincotta on the boundary. 2 efforts, 2 tackles. Melbourne were on. They had a loose player over the back. They just needed to get the ball over. I think he tackled one, and then
And he fell over that one.
I don't know if he tripped into him. I don't know what he
He
did.
legged him.
But-
He
but
legged him.
man,
He got
on
a
the
free kick for that.
no, he didn't. On
I'm
the
saying we're lucky we didn't.
yeah, on the replay, you see the desire in his
Mm.
eyes. He's
Yeah.
stopping that guy from I
Man
think
on
it
a
was
mission.
Van Rooyen or whatever. he was going to stop him no matter what.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, he
going
was
to
on a
stop
mission.
him with all his might, and he got there, man, and he did it. He stopped him, and the commentators all game, man, were just like on Melbourne. They were Melbourne supporters the whole game, so they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
free kick!" But when
That's standard.
Petrarca threw it and they got a goal out of it, no one said nothing. there wasn't even a replay. And you know, at one stage, one of the commentators, I think he said, "We can kick. We should be able to kick." They said "we" for Melbourne. Like they're not even hiding their bias.
Or 6 minutes to go. Jack Martin gets crashed in the back, free kick.
The 50
One
minute point.
whistle. One
Yeah,
whistle.
go on.
A second whistle. Gorn has the ball and kicks it after the second whistle.
Kicks
but
it
no,
away.
Yep.
Nah.
nothing
Yep.
to see there.
No 50, bro.
That's a 50
nothing to
every
say.
day if Carlton did that. Every day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was-
Two
I was
whistles.
Losing it. I was losing it in my lounge room.
Yeah.
Losing it. The old lady. If I was at the G, the old lady would have like called that.
Oh,
number.
that's-
down. Sit
Bloody
down.
Karen. She
Karen.
needs to go, man.
Yeah, she
Straight up, man. She needs
she
to
told
go.
us to sit down a few times. Mate, you want to stand up and celebrate, especially in that fourth.
Bro, you
Go
go to the
up
footy,
to, go up to level 4, man.
I'm glad she
Should've-
didn't say anything at the end after the
Tucking his
siren
jacket-
went, when everyone
tucking
was
his jacket,
jumping on
sit down.
chairs and hugging
Karen's
and kissing each other.
She was
Yeah,
bad.
nah, my
Talking
lounge was
about-
very
going
bad.
wild.
Talking
On
about
purpose,
the,
I stood on my actual chair at the siren. So
No, I don't think she was stopping anyone from standing up
No.
at the end of that game. Talking about some of the bias that we've seen in the media after the famous win against the Melbourne Demons. Did you guys read the 9 things we learned on the AFL
Yep.
this week? So
Yep.
let me tell. Howard Kimber is the name of the guy, the gentleman that decided to write this. Carlton have come just won 8 in a row to revive, to rejuvenate, right? To bring
And
back
what did
to
he
life
talk about, Amal?
the 2023 AFL season. And this guy decides to write, Carlton may have left its run a week too late because of top 4. Really?
Let's
You
put the
could've-
horse on. He needs to trot along out of that job.
Shut your ass.
The only thing that you can find out of Carlton's win against a team that applied the same level of pressure over 200 this week was that we left our run a week too late.
They hate us, bro.
Yeah,
They
they
hate
do.
us.
They hate us.
And
Bad.
you know what? I love it. The more we
Yep.
win, I love it. Because that's all they got. Like,
Mm.
keep the hate coming.
yeah,
Keep the
You
hate
have
coming
to-
because you
Absolutely.
know it's we're doing well, we're successful, and it will always continue to come. Look at the last 8 weeks, boys. The 8 weeks. Oh, it's just Suns. Oh, it's just Hawks. Oh, it's just Freo. Oh, yeah, it's Port, but they're missing 6. Oh, West Coast. That's fair. We'll take West Coast. Pies. They had a hard game. It's in the where. They had a cold running through the camp or whatever. Then I'm counting that game. That was a massive game. Saints, D's. When will people wake up and realise?
When we come home with a flag, George.
Our best, and we've all said it here. We'll do it against anyone, anywhere, at any time, and they continue to question it.
One of our biggest haters, one of our absolute biggest haters, a good friend of ours, right? His name's Macca. He absolutely hates us, right? He messaged me during the fourth quarter and said, "Bro, you guys can win the flag." And that, I know how much that would have hurt him to say that. So it's just good that we're here, but the job's not done.
The job is not done. 100%.
You know what we say to those supporters that say, we say, cop that in the mouth. That's what we say to them.
100%.
Cop that in the mouth. Take them your excuses, shove them in your mouth.
In your mum's mouth.
Oof. And that.
Get a next.
Adding on to what Georgie said, it's we have said, and we've said it many times, that our best can match anyone. I think it's time to rephrase that. Our best is unbeatable. Unbeatable. Because let me put it to you like this. We are 6 of our top 22 down. I'll name them for you. Harry Mackay, Jack Silvani, Sam Walsh, Adam Chera, Mitch McGovern, Matty Kennedy, and if you include him in the best 22, I'll leave this one up to you guys, but Zach Williams as well.
But he existed.
I'll grab a Chincotta, okay.
We have a lot of elite talent missing in our list. And if for the rest of the competition, that doesn't send chills down your spine, that we're missing them and we're still able to beat top 4 teams, you need to really have a hard think.
That's what? I don't care anymore what anyone says. Like, let them think whatever they want. I want to win a fucking premiership. And we're daring to dream. And I said this weeks ago, why not us? Why can't we? And we're proving that we can.
Yeah.
So when I say the job's not done, the job's not fucking done, man. I want to go all the way.
Imagine when you win the flag. I almost cried the other day.
You almost had a heart attack yesterday, bro.
6 more wins. 6 more wins, boys. Hey, this season has the makings of something special. Like, just think about it. Like, it's like, 15th 8 weeks ago. And so credit to Swans. So were the Swans as well, right?
$201 to win the flag at the end of round 13. Gamble responsibly.
When we paying like $1 something to not make the 8?
$1.03.
$1.03 to not make the 8.
Wow.
After round 13. Imagine putting $1 million on that. Jesus.
At the end of that game, at the end of the game against the D's, man, you say you were crying, Carl. I was screaming and yelling my head off so hard, I almost passed out. There. I think I accidentally farted, but more importantly,
I thought I smelled something funny.
That was me. I accidentally farted, but more importantly, yeah, I'm not going to scream that loud next time.
I got a question. Was it touched?
No.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Yes.
Absolutely.
Should I ask that again, Amal?
No, it's because I'm so used to bloody us being on that side of the conversation. Was it touched? No, it wasn't touched. Oh.
Let's answer it for the salty people. No, it wasn't touched. It was a goal. Work it out.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Exactly.
I spoke to Caleb Marchbank today. He reckons his arm is killing him from the ball hitting his arm. I don't know. Yeah. That's what he said. He said he got a bruise on his arm.
Yeah. How about
bruise on his arm?
How about the silly question that they asked Kemp? I think it was Kane Corns this morning, or one of the guys. They asked him on the Sunday Footy Show this morning. He's like, "Did you hear the ball touch Marchbank, bro? 68,000 people are losing it. They're screaming their house down, and players are knocking into each other. But you want to hear the ball bristle? his
What did
forearm.
he say? What was his reply?
Hey, like, oh, didn't really hear. There was a lot going on, or whatever.
Was it
Of
Kane
course, he's
Corn?
going to say that.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Kane. I've got to go back and watch. But it was the
Sounds like a
stupidest
Kane
question.
Corns question.
It's the stupidest question.
We should get Kane Corns on the podcast and just abuse
Nah.
him for 30 minutes. You bobblehead-looking dog.
Just get a
You know
bobblehead
what I mean?
version. That'll work.
You failed firefighter dog.
Hey,
Should ask
straight
him
out,
if you heard me
that
fart.
was probably one of the best games I've ever been to. Straight out, man. I'm just going to put that
Huge.
out there. Like
That last 10 minutes was, and that's probably why Amal was holding in his fart. That last 10 minutes was heart in your mouth stuff, heart pounding in your ass stuff. That was like
I couldn't sit. I couldn't sit for for the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I couldn't
the
sit.
constant entries to our defensive 50. And hey, I'm big raps to Hewitt and Akers for just continuously to find space and getting out, and Akers bombing it out a couple times that last couple of minutes. And everyone stepped up. That the defense was under siege.
Yeah.
Adam Sard's last quarter. Didn't anyone see Adam Sard's last quarter?
Massive.
Yeah, killed it.
Massive.
Yeah. And you know what?
7 intercepts. Massive.
He's flown under the radar last few weeks because of our wins and because of performances from I was about to say Newman and Akers and all that. But Sard has been just flying, slowly. But that last quarter was special from Adams. I mean, it was special from everyone. But Sard, good on him, man. Oh, he killed that.
He's been huge.
How did we feel after Pickett kicked that goal? What was going through the heads?
No comment.
I turned.
It was pretty shit.
I absolutely turned in my lounge room. I was turning. How did we feel after the second goal from the boundary? This bloke has done nothing in his career.
Smith.
And he kicked
I never
the goal.
heard of him.
I actually had never heard of him either.
When he come up from the crowd.
And I said,
they called him down from freaking Mount Hotham.
I think he came down from level 2.
I actually said to my mate, I'm like, watch this guy who's done nothing kick this goal from the boundary 45 out. And he fucking did. I was like, oh, shit, is it happening again? And then when Petrarca, because I was standing up, when Petrarca kicked it, I didn't know it was touched yet because it was definitely touched. I was holding my water bottle. I'm standing. I don't even know. I was probably doing a handstand. I actually don't even know what I was doing. I was just stressing. When he kicked that goal, I threw the water bottle that hard into my floor that it bounced up, hit my TV, and my TV fell forward. I had to rush to my TV to catch it. I was like, I screamed again. Like it happened again. I couldn't believe it, bro. But then it was touched. It was clearly touched. So, what a win, boys.
How good after starting 1-5. I think it was the start of the second quarter. 1-5, and you think, geez, this has the makings of like a Sydney or an Essendon game where inaccuracy is going to cost us. We proceeded to kick 8-1 after that. So that was that was pivotal going in as well. So just
massive.
Taking our chances.
It's a new Carlton, mate. If that last 11 minutes of the game doesn't tell you we've changed, nothing will, mate. Because any other day, any other year, we lose that game by 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah,
not just that, bro. Any other game, we're losing that right at the end.
Yeah, all that. We lose at the end or we get smelled.
How many repeat entries did they have in the last minute? In the last 2 minutes,
46,000.
They were just
because we've got
bang.
We've got Caleb Marchadona, Maradona with the hand of God.
Hand of God. Jesus.
Oh man,
that was great. It
was a great, intense fight. And looking at the team stats, 386 to 355 in disposals. Free kicks, 17 apiece. The hitouts is probably the only one that Melbourne dominated across the board. Everything else was tit for tat.
How did Pito go?
The only one, I reckon, the only one that was lopsided, importantly as well, was tackles inside 50. It was 21-8 in Carlton's favour.
Wow,
massive.
Sure.
We were on a mission in that forward.
Always Fogarty,
Martin,
Jack Martin, just all
even
over.
The midfield was getting involved. We've really got this hunter mentality now. proper hunter
Do
mentality.
you know who's
Like
got
you said,
that
right?
mentality? Kemp.
What a mark.
Oh,
yeah,
what
yeah.
a
Brody's
mark.
his
That
specky.
mark
What a
was
Yeah,
mark.
yeah. But Brody Kemp is a hunter. He's got that in his eyes, man, and the way he plays. I'm excited, boys. I'm excited.
Lot
Job's
to be
not done.
excited about.
Job's not done.
Lot to be excited about, but 100%, Andy, the job is definitely not done. I want to fire off a few quick questions for you guys. We won't spend too much time on them, just short answers, please. And then we'll jump into the votes for the game. Who makes the 8 from here and who misses out?
I
Are we
reckon
just
Geelong
like,
misses.
obviously just the bottom 4 or the
Bottom 4,
six,
yeah. The top
5, 6,
top
7,
4.
8?
Top 4
Yeah,
is
so-
locked. Bottom 4. So I'll give you an idea of who's in the bottom 4. So we got Carlton at 5, St Kilda in 6, Swans at 7, Doggies at 8, who just lost today against the Hawks, Essendon in 9th, GWS 10th, Geelong in 11th, and Adelaide Crows in 12th, who was still a sniff. What do we
I'm
think?
going to say Doggies. I'm going to say Doggies. They got West Coast next week. I think if they win that, they probably get 7th or 8th, and we're a chance of probably playing them in a home final.
So Doggies have what will probably be considered as a final against Geelong in the last round.
In Geelong.
In Geelong as well.
Yeah, it's a big test for them.
They lost this round for them against the Hawks in Tasmania was a massive, massive game.
Good.
I think Giants might sneak in the set. Well, Giants Essendon this week before Essendon have to play Collingwood the week after, and Giants have to play us. That's shaping the bottom half of the 8. So I think Giants probably sneak in as well for that 7th and 8th. So yeah, and then St Kilda's got a bit of a hard run. I reckon they'll slip away.
I reckon
Can Adelaide make
makes
it? Yeah,
I
I was
reckon
about to
Adelaide
say,
makes it.
I reckon
Yeah.
Adelaide can sneak in.
Yeah, I reckon they will. They'll
Well, if
win their last
Adelaide
2 games.
they beat Sydney, they
got Sydney,
effectively
yeah.
almost end Sydney's
Yeah.
home.
And
Sydney
then-
got Melbourne the week after.
And then the last game they've got a bye.
I can't remember a season so tight.
West Coast.
It is very tight. It is very tight. I think St Kilda aren't. I'm not sold on them. I think they might miss out.
I
But
hope they're relevant. I
GWS
hope
and
they're
Geelong.
8th, and I hope we smash them in the first week.
Tell you what, I'd much rather play St Kilda than Geelong.
Nah, we'll smash anyone, bro. I don't fear no one. Put anyone in front of us, bro.
Don't want to play Geelong.
confident, bro.
Scared of.
Yeah, you don't want to play Geelong at the J.
No.
6 more
They've
wins.
got
boys.
too much.
6 more
Scared
wins.
of what, bro? Brian Myers. Scared of nothing, bro. Brian Myers. Like can't even kick. Kicks like a 12-year-old.
Probably is 12.
All right, we'll move on. We'll move on to the next question. Does Fisher stay?
Nope.
Yes.
Nah,
Yes.
I don't think he does.
No,
I reckon he does.
You reckon he does, Carl?
Yeah,
Why?
I reckon he does. What do you reckon? I just reckon he does. I don't reckon he'll leave.
Has he found a home in the backline?
I reckon he'll still be rotated forward and back. I reckon there's no like actual set position for him, but I don't reckon he'll leave. I reckon he'll stay.
he's not at the. I don't think he's at that place in his career where he's depth anymore. He needs to go somewhere and make an impact for a couple of years and see you later. So I think he's gone.
I think West
He's
Coast
gone.
is a perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's looking at Victorian-based clubs.
Yeah, I don't think he wants
wow.
to head back to Perth,
St
surprisingly.
Kilda. Head to irrelevancy.
Thank you to offer him $1 million a year for 10 years.
He
Well,
can trump
it's a
Max King.
it's a valid question though. You think like if Cher is in, if Walsh is in, if Kennedy's in, and you go to the back line, Boyd, Zach Williams next year, he's not getting a game in the best 22.
Unless he's happy to be depth. Unless he's happy to play 8-9 games for the year.
Funny question,
minimum
Amal,
minutes.
because I don't know if you guys remember to our mid-season review, he was one of those ones that we couldn't decide on. Is he in our best 22?
Half forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it speaks volumes of the system that we have in place now, right? And the role clarity that George mentioned before. That clarity has really been able to bring out the best of our fringe players, not so much our elite, our top end talent, because we know what we can expect from them week in, week out. But it's more these inconsistent players that we've had on our list for so long, and they're really starting to show their, I guess, value in the system that we have and the structure that we have at the moment. So do we let them go or do we keep them?
Is Fisher signed?
I've got no idea.
I think he's got a year left, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got some time
Alright.
left. He's not uncontracted.
Honestly, if he wants to go, trade for him. If he wants to leave, if he doesn't want to be depth, trade for him. Might as well get something for him before his contract runs out.
Yeah.
Saints were an option, and I know we've been heavily linked with Jade Gresham, who I'm not a very big fan of personally. But yeah. So I don't know if there might work something out there. But I'm not sold on him, but apparently Saints were an option, so we'll wait and see, I guess.
Honestly, if it is Jade Gresham, sweet. We'll take him. He's good. He's all right.
Yeah, but how would Jade Gresham fit in a premiership team, Andy?
Oh, Georgie.
I got one more question. Before we move on to the votes. Who goes out for Walsh and Chera? Now, Walsh is expected to return back next week. They might give Chera another week.
Why are you asking?
I don't reckon Walsh will come back this week.
I reckon Curnow goes.
Curnow
Dow would probably go to the bench as a sub. Unfortunately, who do you take out, bro? That's the other one.
Cottrell, unfortunately.
It's a good problem to have.
I don't think Cottrell goes.
No,
Maybe
Cottrell
the
I think he will. I don't think he's done enough to cement that spot just yet.
Well,
He's
we
been great.
don't know.
Not denying that.
We don't know what his role entails. We don't know what he's being told to do. So maybe he is feeling that role because
run.
his opponents
Lap
aren't
up the
smashing him.
case.
No. He's
aren't doing
definitely
much.
doing the job. I'm not saying he's not, but you got Walsh and you got Chera.
Yeah, I get you, but yeah, we're losing a wingman for midfielders.
No, I don't reckon that happens.
Well,
You
you've
know,
got
Cottrell doesn't play in the
Hollands,
middle.
you got Akers, and
Yeah.
then you potentially maybe someone on the half forward like a Cunningham or a Fogarty and stuff like that as well, where they might do a rotation.
I think
Don't drop
Fogarty has
Cunningham.
to
We
go.
haven't lost since Cunningham is back. We haven't
Yeah,
lost.
that's right.
I don't want to jinx it.
Or Fogarty. So
Or
I think, I think Fogarty will have to make way.
Do we let go of that
Interesting
tackling
His pressure
pressure, though?
forward is too much. You
Yeah.
cannot drop Fogarty. If he brings 10 tackles a game, that's it.
Yeah.
Ticks the box.
But Walsh and Chera.
This is a nice problem to have.
It is amazing. We'll never have this problem.
It's beautiful.
8 weeks
Well,
ago,
this week.
8 weeks ago, we were cursing. We're like, there is no depth. There is no. What depth?
Who do we bring in?
Oh,
The playing list lacks talent, belief.
Leadership.
our VFL top side's better.
And who would have thought after us giving Ed Kerner, we love you, Ed, but after the amount of stuff he copped, he organised the camp that apparently bonded these players.
Yep, leadership.
No longer. I think we should change his nickname from Grandpa Ed to Master Uguay from Kung Fu Panda. If he's setting up things like this.
No idea what that is, bro.
Oh, shit.
I'll
Great
have to put
movie.
a photo up. Anyway, votes. George, I'll kick it off with you.
I'm gonna go Nick Newman with one. I thought again, the guy is just putting together an unbelievable season, unbelievable second half of the season as well. The composure in defence, racked it up again. You know, he used to always be hovering around that sort of 20 touch mark, and now the guy's racking up 30 plus, kicking, getting out of our defence. Love the fact that he always sort of looks into the middle when trying to spot up a player for that, breakaway and whatnot. So he's been Mr. Fix It, Mr. Composed. He's been great. I'm going to give 2 to Hewitt. George Hewitt is so incredible in those tight spaces. The guy must train in a Telstra phone box outside Busy Park or something, because he does his best work in the tightest of spaces. Yeah, literally. They said, don't worry about the track. Go train in a phone box. Yeah, pardon the pun there. Anyway, moving on. I knew you were going to pick something out there. So he does his best work in those spaces there where, he always finds a man out of the contest. He doesn't panic. And it was exemplified in the last 10 or 15 minutes in that fourth quarter. When you look at his positioning, he gets it. He doesn't panic. He looks for an option. He usually spins out of a tackle or whatnot, finds the handball. So it's been great to see him get back to his best and what we saw last year. And 3 for Cripps. I'm glad that I called in the preview. The margin would be a tight, scrappy contest. Low scoring would be 4 points, which it was. And I said Cripps would be, and he would play in a blind, and he'd get the boys on his back. His score involvements, his work out of the contest, his handballing to Dow to get the run and carry and kick inside 50. He set up our last goal that we kicked in Kerno as well. And he was an absolute bull. And probably not surprised if he's got a cracked rib or a bruised rib. Poor guy after copping. I think he copped the knee in the rib in the fourth.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
And he looked shot, right? And he was labouring to the next contest and whatnot. But the guy absolutely stood tall and amazing performance. So yeah, that's my 1, 2, 3. Who's next?
I'll go. I got my 1 vote to Mr. Adam Saad. You got to say you got to get the in there. Adam Saad. 25 touches, efficiency at 84%. His last quarter was elite. The stuff he did was magnificent. Positioned himself perfectly whenever we needed it. He was just there. And I think which is in the second quarter, I believe, where he intercepted a mark and resulted in a goal. I think it was. That was That was last quarter. Nicely. Was it last? Set us up nicely. My 2 votes, Nick Newman. George already said what he had to say about him. Star. My 3 votes is to Hewitt. 23 contested possessions. Wow. Bull. And the composure he has. The bloke's a beast, man. Just a beast. Moss?
There's a few guys that miss out here. Bit stiff. Akers did some good things. For me, Saad did some really good things. Last quarter was amazing. I'm actually going to give one to Hewitt. He was. You guys have sort of said, he sort of. I feel like everything slows down when he gets the ball. I don't know what it is, but he's just got that composure and the smarts to be able to know what the next move is. Really good. Cripps gets 2. He battled all day. He does it every week in, week out. But he really impacted the game. And look, unlucky, Dow misses out on votes as well. But they work well together. My guy, Mr. Best and Fairest, Nick Newman, 3 votes. Not saying anything more. Andy?
Mine are very similar to yours, Moose. I'll give 1. It's tough, man. I'll give 1 to... You know what? I'm going to give 1 to Newman. For all the reasons above. I thought he killed it. Legend in defense at the moment. 2 to Hewitt. Again, all the reasons you guys said. His pressure and his, like you said, Georgie, his ability to move the ball in that deep contest, in that heavy contest, second to none. But Paddy Cripps, man. Cripps, that this was a game he wanted to win. And we were never going to lose that. Having Cripps out there, we were never going to lose that. Whatever it took, we were going to win. If that was called a goal by Petrarca, we would have got one back. Cripps would have got the centre clearance and we would have kicked a quick one back. I truly believe that.
100%. I'm with you, Andy. 100%.
So I what he was able to do in 4 quarters was so good, man. So yeah. Amar?
It's actually not different at all from anyone else's. It's literally, you could put those 3 names in a washing machine and whichever way they come out, it doesn't matter. But for me, I'd go 1 vote, George Hewitt, 2 votes, Nick Newman, and 3 to the captain, to the skip, who had an absolute fantastic game.
We lost Amar.
Hey?
I think I lost you for a second.
Cut out there for a sec. Probably got
cut out a bit.
Back. So 1 vote, George, 2 votes, Nick Newman, and 3 votes, Paddy Cripps. I think that was the order that I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, a freaking awesome win. It is definitely a win that in the past we would have lost. Carlton would have lost that. They would have found 100 different ways to lose it. But it's not the case anymore. It's clear now that the system that we have is able to bring the best out of everyone from the top end right down to the bottom. Players such as Kemp and Fisher and Fogarty and, the likes of Cunningham, who hasn't played games, an AFL game in years, has been able to come back and play in this system and really be able to play a role, for the betterment of our system and our structure and just the way that we've been able to play out our games lately. And it's been a turnaround of epic proportions. One that I don't know in the time that I've been watching footy, I've never seen a team turn it around so quickly in a season, midway through a season, and be able to rejuvenate their season. And we're not there yet 100%, but I think the door is starting to open for finals, or it's pretty much halfway open. We just need to walk into it now at this point. On that, actually, is finals a lock?
Nope.
We're not walking into finals with kick the door down, mate.
Yeah.
So what's left?
One more guarantees. One more guarantees the spot.
100%. Yeah.
Like I said, job's not done, man. I want to cement our spot in there
And do damage.
next week, and then smash whoever's next. GWS have the break, and then
We need the break.
4 more. We do need the break.
None of us.
Yeah.
None of us want to go into the GWS game in 2 weeks nervous. You want to go in and it's sewn up. You don't want to go into that game and it's still on the line.
That's why next week is crucial.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game, and we'll get there. But it's we just keep doing what we're doing.
We are the real deal, boys. This is real. We are the real deal. So, whoever wants it, come get it.
100%. The Baggers are up and about. The Monday Blues are up and about.
Absolutely.
Carlton Football Club is up and about. We are 8 wins off the trot. I'll pass it over to you, please.
Yeah, man, it's got to be done. Here he is, Ed. Ed's back. The sub.
That is the most annoying toy I've ever seen in my life.
Everyone's probably thinking, what's that for? What's that for? What's that for?
8 wins off the trot. 2 games to go in the 2023 AFL season. 1 win from a guaranteed spot in the finals. And we are coming. We're coming for finals, and we are ready to do damage. Some serious damage. Let's see how far we can take this. Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure this week. As Voss said, I think this one we've enjoyed the most out of the last couple of wins that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
And until Gold Coast, the preview this Thursday night, going live once again. I think we love going live.
You do.
We will see you then. And until then, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, gents.
Sticky no, George.
That's a new one.